It's that time of year again for making New Year's resolutions. I suppose the first thing I should say is congratulations on choosing to make changes in your life, whether it be to lose weight, whether it be to stop smoking, or perhaps even just to get fitter during 2018. I suppose the first thing I would actually say is that, of course, there are going to be times when you may slip. That's not an excuse for you to actually slip. It's just merely a state of reality, really. At those times, you just acknowledge the fact that you've made that error, you've made that slippage, and you start again. And eventually you'll find that you don't slip anymore. I suppose in terms of things that can actually help, some tricks I would suggest for losing weight. I would suggest cutting up fruit in advance, or vegetables which you can snack on between meals. Or if you find that in trying to stop smoking, whilst fruit or vegetable bits will help there as well, you may find that you lose your temper, or perhaps you lose patience more easily. I would actually suggest then you take some time out, whether that time out be for a few minutes or maybe 5 minutes, just to get away from whatever you're actually doing, out of the situation, and you'll find you'll calm yourself down again. People often say to me, well, you know, I'm going to wait until I go on holiday, I'm going to wait until Christmas, or I'm going to wait to some period when they have nothing to do. My advice would be, don't do that. Stress is a normal part of life. We need to cope with it. In fact, it offers us many benefits, because whilst we're focusing on something, it's impossible to have the cravings. So if you're hard at work, you don't notice the fact that perhaps you've not eaten so much, or you don't notice that perhaps you've not had a cigarette. So it's much easier to do that. The other thing I always say to people is avoid substitutes. And by that I mean things like nicotine patches, because they just elongate the process, really. The other thing I would actually say is avoid low-calorie drinks, because they do nothing to your taste buds. It takes about 1 to 2 weeks for your taste buds to change, for you to stop craving those sweet things so much. And when you've lost that weight, you want to be in a position where the food you eat and the type of food you eat has permanently changed. I suppose the other thing is that I would, of course, stress is that some of these habits are quite self-destructive. So part of this process is to spend a little time inside yourself. And what I mean by that is to simply sit down in a calm place, to close your eyes and breathe deeply, and just imagine yourself in a location which always makes you feel good, calm, and at peace with yourself. And imagine yourself as that non-smoker, as that person who's lost the weight. Really put your feelings, any sounds you associate with it, perhaps loved ones saying well done, or imagine a picture, make the colours more vivid, clearer. And perhaps the other thing is, as you begin to recognise the self-destructive nature of some of these problems, begin to give yourself that comfort, that reassurance that perhaps you've been getting from cigarettes or food. Of course, if you find that after 1 or 2 weeks, or if things like anger comes to the forefront, my advice would be to seek the help of a professional hypnotherapist. My experience of that is clearly I'm a hypnotherapist, and what we can do together is to find the drivers and to fix the drivers. In my experience, people generally say, They didn't realise how easy it was going to actually be either to stop smoking or to change how they feel about themselves, to feel good about themselves, to have better self-esteem, so they no longer need to eat to gain that comfort from eating. And I suppose before finishing, it's worth saying that you need to remember there are so many areas of your life that you've succeeded in and you continue to succeed in. And resolutions are just one more area. So don't kid yourself when you hear people say things like, I just can't do it. I've got that sort of personality. Because if you think about it, think of all the things you're actually doing that you have no compulsion to do and that you have complete control over. So just remember that you can succeed. And once again, congratulations for making that decision and that choice to make your life better. And thank you for taking the time to watch and listen to my video.